Today is July 19th, 2020. It's been exactly 3 months since my daughter's been diagnosed with leukemia. Everyone is being so sweet, sending prayers and positive energy and giving really uplifting words and affirmations and offering as much support as possible. There are some phone calls and messages that I just can't answer right now. It's too much at the moment, but I will answer people in my own time. People really want to know how I'm doing, with my daughter's diagnosis and everything. Well, let's see. How am I doing? I am in the process of figuring out how in the world I'm going to leave my husband. My daughter and I haven't been home in 3 months. We are still living in Seattle, close to the hospital for her chemotherapy treatment. My husband came out to visit. He said he wanted to help me with our daughter. It's just been me and her. We are a couple of months into this pandemic, and the hospital is only allowing one caregiver for our daughter. So I'm holding down the fort with our oldest, and he is supposed to be holding it down with our other 3. Raina, that's our oldest daughter's name. Raina. Tears. There have been nothing but tears since we've been in Seattle, away from our family. It was relieving when my husband said that he was going to come out and help me out with Raina. There have been some pretty hard and difficult decisions that I've had to make on my own regarding her treatment. I have had some sleepless nights, and so has Raina. Her taste is pretty picky when it comes to food at the moment because of her treatment. Nothing that she can do anything about, nothing anyone can do anything about. So when she requests a certain food, I make sure she has it. She has to keep her weight up, and that's not easy. Foods she would normally like don't smell right. They make her feel kind of sick, so we try and stay away from those. She is on a steroid that has her eating every 3 hours, day and night. It's like having a newborn baby again. She wakes up in the middle of the night for scrambled eggs, burritos, etc. And she literally gets hunger pains if she doesn't eat. So I wake up in the middle of the night and make sure that she has what she needs. My mom drove my husband to Seattle. I have our only vehicle at the moment to make sure I can accommodate Raina the best I can. My mom also brought my other 3 daughters so I could see them too. When Raina was diagnosed, they tried to get us into the Ronald McDonald House. But since we are in a pandemic, they aren't accepting any new people. So Raina's social worker was able to get us into a transplant house. They are pretty nice apartments. We are on the 4th floor, and you need a fob to get in and out of the building, including access to the elevator and the 2 parking garages. My husband sends me a text that they are getting off the freeway, and this gives me just enough time to get my shoes on, head down the long hallway, and then down the elevator and through the parking garage to get to the entrance of the garage and let my family in the gate. By the time I made it to the garage gate, they were already there waiting for me. I guess it took a bit longer than I thought I would. I open the gate and my mom drives through and she parks her vehicle. Everyone gets out of the car, goes straight to the trunk to grab their belongings, and I can see my husband smiling at me out of the corner of my eye, but all I can do is focus on my daughters. This can't be good. I'm not really happy to see him. I'm happy to see my babies. I've hugged and kissed all my girls, including my mom. I haven't even greeted my husband yet. It's just, now that he's here, I don't want him to be. I just want my girls. The time comes where my mom leaves with my daughters, but my husband stays. I thought he would give me a little of the break that I needed. I thought maybe I could show him the ropes a bit, and I could lay my head down and catch up on some rest while he was here. Well, I was wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. It's never been that way. Him helping me with our girls, that's just not the marriage we have. To be very honest, though, I set it up that way. From the moment the girls were born, we've had this dynamic. He goes to work and I stay home and take care of the girls and our home. Over time, as the girls would get older, I really enjoyed spending extra time with them, teaching them how to be respectable young women, and me and my daughters grew a close bond. It took the pressure off of my husband. He wouldn't have to worry about anything when he got home from work, but I don't think he wanted to worry about anything other than work and the research he could do on the computer about scripture. But that's another journal entry for another time. Through the years, he never got to know his daughters. His days off from work were spent on the television and the computer, not on his daughters. A typical evening after he would get home from work would be for him to walk through the front door. The girls would already be fed and bathed and just waiting to say goodnight to their dad. He would say goodnight, and then he would change his clothes, and I would grab his plate of food out of the oven where I would be keeping it warm, and the TV would turn on or the computer would turn on. Early on, we used to talk or watch something that he wanted to watch, but over time it turned into him on the computer, and the only way I could engage in conversation with him was if I brought up scripture or sports or politics. Anything else, he didn't hear me. I kept the same routine on his days off. The difference was I would have to work around him. So as I was saying, him helping me out with our girls, that's just not the marriage we have. As his stay extended with me and my daughter in Seattle, it was clear why he was really here. So he could get some home-cooked meals and have me wait on him hand and foot. He brought his whole computer and computer screen and his laptop with him. And all he did all day was watch television, request foods from the store that he would like to eat that I could cook up for him. It didn't matter that some of the foods Raina couldn't stand the smell of. Raina's diet was for weight gain, and my diet was for weight loss. So most days, I would cook 2 meals, one for Raina and one for me. My husband refused to eat what I ate or what Raina ate, and he refused to cook it himself. Next thing I know, I'm cooking 3 different meals every day. I know, just don't cook for him, right? Well, guess what? That's not where we were in our marriage. I always cooked for him. I always served him, and if I didn't, he wouldn't eat, and then he would complain that he hasn't had anything to eat. It was a corner I was already backed into, and I didn't know how to get out of it. I realized that all my effort to be a submissive wife, to be the perfect wife, was not working for me. I was tired. I needed help, and I didn't have it. I needed a partner, not another child to take care of. I was beginning to see that he set up the perfect plan. I am now 37 years old, and he just turned 61 this month. This man has it made. He has a young woman taking care of his every need. He knows I'm faithful. He knows I'm loyal. He doesn't care about me. He cares about what I can do for him. He loves what I can do for him. You know what? I don't care about him. I haven't for a while. When I mean a while, I mean at least a decade now. He lost me when he slept with the other woman. And that, too, is a journal entry for another time. I don't love him. I never got to the point where I could. Every time I would think to myself, you know what? I can grow to love him. He would cut all of that off when he would yell at me and call me stupid or a dumb bitch, or tell me I'm a bad role model for our daughters in front of our daughters, or correct me in front of our daughters or people who were around us, or when I would catch him with his porn, that I would always do so well to cover his tracks so no one would know that he had a pornography problem. As soon as I would go to bed, I would hear the moaning of women on his computer or laptop from the other room. I would just put some earphones in my ears and listen to music, Well, I pictured myself somewhere else, maybe even with someone else. Maybe cry myself to sleep thinking, how the fuck did I get here? Oh, right. I decided to stay with this man for the sake of our child. After Raina was born, I tried to leave him. I actually had an exit strategy, but when I told him that I was leaving him, he made me an ultimatum. He said if I leave him, then he will not be in Raina's life. He said there is no way that he's going to watch another man raise his daughter. Maybe because my parents divorced when I was between the ages of 3 and 5 years old, I just couldn't repeat the same thing. Maybe my father has been in my life the whole time, and I couldn't even imagine him not in my life. And I didn't want our daughter to find out what it's like to live a life and her father is somewhere living a life without her. So I canceled my exit strategy and I stayed. Staying with him for the sake of our daughter turned into me staying with him for the sake of all of our daughters. Well, guess what? This mess of a man that I'm connected to, it's time to leave him where he is. I think it's time for me to go. But how?